Okay, so after some technical difficulties, I think I got this now. Hi, my name's Mars. I've been thinking of doing this kind of stuff for a little while now, but I just kind of wanted to talk a little bit about social anxiety and social phobia. I've recently been diagnosed with social phobia, and it's something I've struggled with for a very long time, but I've come a really long way with it without really knowing that that's what I was dealing with. So just kind of thought I'd make some videos and share a little bit with you. But so today, what kind of got me interested in recording something was I was been watching these videos by Matthew Hussey on, I guess, Matthew Hussey or Hussey. I don't know. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. But he's got all these videos on how to get the guy. And it's, I don't really know how I ended up on these. One of those things where I'm doing something else and something comes up and I'm like, oh, it's actually not too bad. And I'm kind of glad I kept watching them because it was really fascinating to hear how a lot of the stuff that he was talking about that, and not just for girls to get a guy, but for anyone trying to get into a relationship. And like some of the things that he said or suggestions that he made about how things might be perceived in a social situation, a lot of it was the same kind of stuff that people with social phobia would deal with. And a lot of the tips for getting into a relationship with a guy were also just good tips for having positive social interactions as somebody with social phobia, at least in my experience. But one thing in particular that he mentioned was a topic that he discussed of people who already have a boyfriend or girlfriend and somebody comes up to them in a bar and chats with them and they end up having like a 3-hour conversation and spend the night hanging out together, only for the end of the night for the person in a relationship to be like, hey, so sorry, I actually have a partner. And it was the other person's intention to try and get in a relationship with this person. So there's their whole night wasted on somebody that they never would have been able to get into a relationship with. But he said that sometimes guys and girls will do this to receive validation. Even though they are already in a relationship, they're out and somebody's showing interest in them, and they like that. People like that when people show that they like them. So they don't tell them that they're already in a relationship. They let the thing go on, and because it makes them feel good. And I realized that I've done that, but not exactly. For me, it was a social phobia thing. It wasn't just, oh, I'm in a relationship already, but I'm getting this validation that someone else is attracted to me, and so I'm going to let this go on. For me, I didn't realize that this person was flirting with me. I didn't realize that, like, I don't go out. I don't go out ever. I am a social loser, but, I mean, not really. I'm pretty awesome, but I don't go out. I don't go do things. And, or at least typical things for 20-somethings to do. I don't go to bars, but this one time somebody invited me out to go to a show at a concert, EDM kind of stuff, and it was fun, but it was a social event, and therefore it just freaks me out. It makes me stressed. And well, I was with a couple of my friends, but one of their friends brought this other person and we started chatting and we had a nice time, and we hit it off, and I was just happy that this person was willing to talk to me. Try again. Are you gonna keep recording? Or are you gonna stop on me for no apparent reason? Hello? Yeah? Am I gonna work? You gonna do it? Okay. Alright. Guess we got it now. Anyway, so, as I was saying, I was really just happy that this person was willing to talk to me, and throughout the night we had so many positive interactions, and as someone with social phobia, you constantly think about how that interaction went and try and decide if it was a positive one or not, and use that to decide how you're going to feel about yourself today. Or at least that's kind of what I do. But anyway, so we were having so many good interactions, and I wasn't comfortable in the big crowd, which he could tell, and he really, like, was okay with that and helped me out a lot. Like, he went and got me a couple of drinks, which, hey, didn't really notice that's a thing that people do when they like you and they want to be with you, and that's something I just I don't know if it's part of the social phobia or if it's just another problem that I have, but I don't totally understand normal interactions, and there are so many times where I have an interaction and I react poorly, and I did not realize later on that that was a trope. That was something that people do that always means a thing, and I don't know if you understand what it means, but you know, when a guy goes and gets you a drink, it means he likes you, and if you accept that graciously, there's an expectation that you like him too, and that, you know, maybe there'll be some reciprocity at the end of the night. But so anyway, I was completely oblivious, and I was just grateful to have someone that was willing to help me. And then kind of towards the end of the night, we were talking, and he kind of leans into me, and I'm like back up against a wall, and he kind of leans into me and leans over me a little bit, and all of a sudden it clicks that this whole time I've been using this person to make me feel socially better and validated. And he's been flirting with me, and I haven't even noticed. And this whole time has been an expectation that, you know, we might get together at the end of the night. And I already have a boyfriend who, you know, for one reason or another wasn't able to come that night. I felt so bad, and I had to be like, hey, I'm really sorry. I misstepped here, and I already have a boyfriend, and I'm sorry if that's what you were hoping for, was to find someone to be with by the end of the night. But so anyway, the point is, it can be, if you're in a situation like this and you have been hanging out with somebody and really enjoying their company, and you're expecting that maybe you can get together, and then at the end of the night they tell you they're in a relationship. It's not always just that they are just validating themselves in the way that they know that they're attractive to, you know, they're taking what you're giving them to feel attractive and feel like other people are still interested in them. They may just not be understanding that you're trying to flirt with them, unless it's just super obvious. I mean, like this person, I don't know if it was really obvious and I just wasn't getting it because I'm oblivious, but it wasn't like super overt. Like, I don't know if that's part of the game, is that you're not allowed to just come out and be like, hey, I'm really hoping that we can have sex at the end of this night, or at the very least that we can maybe talk a little more. So I'm gonna do my best to impress you. You're not really allowed to do that. You're just supposed to do your best to impress, I guess. But so I just kind of wanted to talk about that and share that little story, because I thought it might be an interesting perspective, because, you know, I can totally see from other people's points of view how it looks terrible, but from my point of view, I had no idea. I was just feeling good that somebody was willing to be social with me and didn't think that I was just a weird social outcast, and that they saw that I was having trouble in public and were willing to help me with that. And then I felt really bad at the end of the night when I realized what had actually been going on. So, if you've experienced something like this, share with me in the comments, or make a video response and tag me in it, or whatever, however that works. I'm still figuring all that stuff out too. And I hope this was an interesting perspective for you. Have a super awesome day, everybody!